Okay. So next, we're going to dive right into the United in STEM overview, which is a new initiative focused on supporting undergraduate students of color, regardless of their gender expression and sexual orientation in STEM disciplines currently enrolled at CSU. And Casey will be taking the lead on this, and Bridget will be joining us shortly. So Casey, whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Nicolette. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today and to talk with you all about United in STEM. And like Nicolette just said, I work currently as a student success manager on campus. So I sort of work with large scale initiatives that support student success towards graduation. And that can look like a lot of different things. This is just one of the initiatives that we're working on. And I get to do that in collaboration with Bridget Johnson, who is the director of the Black African American Cultural Center on campus. And in conjunction with 5 colleges that Nicolette included in the email out to you all this morning, giving you more information about this session. So any opportunity to talk a little bit more about United in STEM and get to know more about our students is really helpful for Bridget and I as we sort of centrally coordinate this initiative. Thanks for making me a co-host. It's very official. I am going to share my screen, and I'm hoping we can just start with, actually before I share my screen, I'm gonna hold on that for a second. I'm hoping we can just do introductions since it's a relatively small group. I think it'd be so great if you wouldn't mind sharing your name and what you are studying and anything else you might want to share.
And I can kind of call on folks just to make it go a little bit faster. So Alonzo, if you're comfortable with starting.
Did you call me? I was going to go regardless. Yeah. So my name is Alonzo. I'm a food science and health nutrition major. Currently I have like 37 credits, and I'm hoping to graduate spring 2022, but it's looking like my 400 level classes are going to restrict me to fall 2022, but still going to graduate early. So
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Alonzo. Next, Sabiba.
Hi, my name is Savita. I'm majoring in biomedical engineering and chemical and biological engineering, and I'm a junior. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to graduate.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next, Dennis.
My name is Denise, and I'm a first-year student, and I am primarily focused on the pre-med route. Yeah.
Thank you, Denise. Sorry about that. And then
You're good.
Sebastian.
Hi, so my name's Sebastian, and I am currently a first-year student here at CSU, and I'm studying mechanical engineering. And I think I'm planning on graduating 4 years from now, so 2024, so hopefully spring of 2024. So
Thank you. And finally, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex Hopkins. I'm a STEM peer mentor, majoring in statistics and ethnic studies, and I'm a senior.
I'm gonna try it again. Thanks for joining us, Alex. I appreciate you being here in that peer facilitator, peer mentor kind of a role. And to all of our students who introduced themselves and shared a little bit about what you're studying, this program is designed for you. So it's just helpful to know a little bit more about you all and what you hope to study when you plan to graduate, et cetera. I really hear you, Alonzo, about the course sequencing, determining when you're gonna be able to graduate. Can't do it if they don't offer the classes. And I think that's a hurdle that we have at CSU in many fields. So I feel that deeply in my soul. Now I'll share my screen. Give me just a second. Going back and forth between all the different platforms, it always takes me a hot second to remember how to share. Okay, so, nope, jumping in a little bit here. Let's try this one. Okay. And I heard someone join us. Okay, and before we move into discussion, Katie, do you mind introducing yourself and sharing a little bit about what you're studying? Put you right on the spot as soon as you enter. My apologies.
Sorry, I was having a little bit of technical difficulties getting on, but obviously my name's Katie, and I'm majoring in psychology, and I'm debating on what I want to do still. Like I said, my major is going to be in psychology, but I'm debating on whether or not I want to minor in medicine, maybe go the psychiatrist route and see where that goes, but it just depends on funding and whatnot.
100%. And the good news is you have a little bit of time to choose, right? So I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So I think as long as you sort of are in the vein, you can get to many places from a psychology degree. So thanks for joining, and thanks for allowing me to just sort of call on you randomly when you first joined.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then I do see that we have one more student. So just before we get into discussion, I'm going to do the same thing to Nancy. My apologies, Nancy. If you wouldn't mind sharing your name, and then I see your name, but a little bit about what you're studying, that would be helpful.
Yeah, my name is Nancy Negrete, and I am currently a chemistry major.
Chemistry. Okay. And I see that Bridget joined us. So just to recap, we are working with students across all different kinds of areas, just in terms of major: food science and human nutrition. We have a couple of engineers, pre-med, psychology, and chemistry. And Alex is a peer mentor in statistics. Is that right? Okay, so Bridget, do you want to introduce yourself before we get into discussion?
Yeah, so I apologize that I'm late. I'm just trying to be in 2 meetings at one time. I started my day off that way. I had my Zoom on my camera and I had Teams on my phone at the same exact time for about 45 minutes. And then I'm ending my day with 2 meetings happening at the same time. But I'm not trying to toggle those two because those are interactive ones. So, but thank you, Casey, for getting us started. I appreciate it. And then thank you, Nicolette, for making sure we had everything that we needed today to talk to these wonderful students. And then Fabiola, I always appreciate you for just being you and doing you. But more importantly, I appreciate the students for being here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's beautiful outside. Yeah, Bridget Johnson. I am the director of the Black African American Cultural Center. And I also am, I coordinate student success initiatives for the SDPS offices, which is the Cultural and Resource Centers. And so, yeah, this is who I am. And I don't want to interrupt the flow of what's going on. I'll figure it out.
We literally
Alex, so.
We literally just got to the slide where we were gonna just have a little discussion about why students chose a STEM major. And I put in here, this honestly, the breaking out the acronym of STEM is honestly more for me than it is for you all. I had to learn that STEM was 2 M's, math and medicine. So I like to spell it out because there are other me's in the world who didn't know that we needed to indicate both math and medicine were part of our STEM disciplines in this program. So why don't you talk a little bit about why you chose to be a STEM major? What are you most looking forward to in your opportunity? And then how do you, or within your program of study, and then what are you most looking forward to in terms of defining success within your major? And that could be, I mean that very broadly, like it could be a specific, GPA, it could be graduating in 4 years, it could be taking your research to a conference, it could be, like there's a million ways that people could define success. So we just want to take a few minutes to talk about why you chose to be STEM, what are you most looking forward to, and then how are you defining success?
I can go. So I chose STEM because I felt like I, naturally clicked, like especially K through 12. And I also feel like you can apply it, kind of like how you were saying earlier, apply it to like many different fields. Like just picking your major doesn't mean you're, all gonna end up like in the same place or with the same job. And then what I'm looking forward to is kind of exploring all of the possibilities and like all of the different fields that are related. And success, I feel like kind of like making connections, like meeting peers and other students, like meeting graduate students who are, maybe in the same club or grading, like GTA ing their class. And then also like professors and kind of learning about their research interests and kind of how like they ended up in their field and all of like the different routes they've taken.
I can go next. I think the reason that I chose my major mainly would be because I always like had a passion for helping people. I was always like the mom of the friend group, always helping out my friends and like working people through their problems. And I kind of just naturally fell into that category. And I'm like, well, why don't I make a career out of it if it's what I'm already good at? And things I look forward in my program of study would be definitely the real world experience. I'm excited to get out there and to actually start helping people and like figuring out what would be the best method for me to like connect with my patients and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that. And how I define success, well, probably one or two ways I define it would be obviously my grades. I've always taken a lot of pride in my grades and I do my best to maintain that here in college. And the second one is how happy I am. I mean, as long as I feel extremely happy going through my major and I'm finding enjoyment out of what I'm doing and the fact that I'm helping people, I find a lot of enjoyment in that. So I definitely think that's the best way to define my success is how happy I am.
Love that. Thanks. Who else wants to share? And thanks to Alonzo for sharing in the chat. That's agreeable as well.
I guess I'll go. That's fine. Well, I think I chose engineering just because of how fascinated I always was with the world around me, and especially with kind of like the mechanical things around me, So anything that moves, I was always kind of fascinated with how things worked. And I guess the thing that I'm really looking forward to is just definitely doing labs and research assignments. And I guess I'm also really interested and looking forward to the clubs I can join. This semester, I can't join any clubs because of just the workload that I have. So trying to balance everything out. But hopefully by next semester, I'll be able to join a club. Once I kind of get everything figured out, because this is my first year at a university like this. So, and I guess I would define success kind of as a measurement of like happiness. How happy you are with what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like what you're doing, then there's just no point of you being there. Because at the end, I feel like that's how life has to be, is just measured in happiness. Because at the end of the day, material items don't last. You can't take that with you, but what you do take with you is your experiences and the memories you create. So I guess, yeah, happiness and just being able to feel comfortable in where you're at. So, yeah.
there anyone else who would like to share?
I think Denise. Hello?
Yes, feel free to go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, the reason I chose the STEAM program is I love science and I'm always curious how the things work. Yeah, that's why I chose the STEAM program specifically. And then the reason I chose biomedical engineering as a major is because I have a passion about engineering, both engineering and medical. And I was also like first time I was thinking to get into medical school. Still I'm thinking, so I was like, okay, if I couldn't able to get into medical school, I'm still gonna work in something I love, which is contain medical and um engineering stuff. So that's why I chose my major. And then the thing that I'm looking for is in the future, if I'm not able to work in medical field, I want to work in a neuroengineering area, and hopefully I could find something in the real world. Hopefully I could work in the research with neurodegenerative diseases, like maybe finding some solution or some device that I could help neurodegenerative patients. And what I could just say expected is, so basically when we get to school or something, we are wasting our time and we didn't, instead of doing something else, we think that going there we will benefit in the future. So what I'm looking or what I'm thinking as a success is whatever we're doing today or whatever I'm doing today, maybe if since I'm majoring as a biomedical, I want to be get a good grade and also understand everything what I learned and apply that in areas in a real life, and maybe I would be happy and I would be successful if I able to find something in my major and then help, like as I said, help a neurodegenerative patient.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I was just thinking the same thing
Yeah.
that Fabiola was saying about you're going to be able to help so many people. This is going to be, I love the reason that students get into these majors, right? There's so much that can be done, from building, from creating, to helping people. So that's sort of what we love about this.
And it's so crazy because I just laugh at myself because truly I hate science and math. And we're working with United in STEM. And so I think, Bridget, you're working with STEM students and you know absolutely nothing. But I realize that I can still help folks without even knowing a lot, just kind of pointing and guiding and asking and reassuring. So I feel as though I am also honored as you learn, Zabia, I will also be learning. So, you know, it's all about learning and helping.
Okay, we appreciate you all sharing, and to again sort of help us get a different perspective on your experiences. We want to do some questions through an application called Poll Everywhere. So wanting to share the information to join, you can either join through the internet, like your web browser, and typing in the pollev.com. It's my name because it's my account, which I think is weird, but that's the way they do it. So Casey Jarno 499. Or you can text my name to that 5-digit number 37607, and then it'll tell you you've joined, and then you'll text your responses to that same thread once you've joined. So give you all a second to share or join, and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go to the Poll Everywhere. Share that screen instead.
If by chance you did not get it, just chat, put it in the chat, and then we can make sure that we get you the address. Did anybody get on? Couldn't you tell us if you did get on? Tim said yes. So I'm gonna ask that you try it again. Alonzo, so in the text message, put 37607 and then Casey with 2 E's. Make sure. Okay.
Okay, so it's working. And I know some of you are, you've already answered this question, but just, this is our tester question.
Yeah, let's just pause to make sure that Alonzo gets on.
Sure.
So Katie, you're good. Sebastian, are you good? Oh, Alonzo's good. So I think everybody is good. Thanks, Casey.
Sorry, trying to navigate the chat and this and the, technology. Okay, so that was our tester question. Let's go to the next one, which is, what is your relationship with your professors? And this will show up, I think, in a word cloud. Just open the spots. I'm not sure if there's anything that you pull from this specifically, Bridget, different from what I'm pulling from. The bigger words are the ones that are input more often. So intimidating, minimal is kind of big. So looking at contact, I saw the COVID pop up, which is definitely impacting everything that we do this semester. So that's 100% part of this. What I'm pulling. Okay. Ready for the next? Okay. Next is, how do you feel about going to your faculty members' office hours?
And we know that they, office hours are online, most of them, if not all of them. So we're taking that into consideration. So we don't need to say that necessarily. So more so about how does it feel?
Yeah, so I appreciate, I mean, everything from comfy to makes me nervous, or it's not worth my time, or I'm not really sure what to do with office hours yet. And
Can you, well, we only can see a portion of the screen.
Yeah.
So I just making sure we can. Oh, yeah.
I think they're populating at the top, which hopefully you can see. Yeah. That variety, it's real. So open and accessible, and that helps, but haven't needed it quite yet, right? So there's a variety of ways I know that people show up in office hours, why you might need them, when you might go, etc. But accessing them is important to success at CSU. Yeah. Okay. Next, do you believe your identities are valued in your major? Great. But then when answering that question, what was the first identity that came to mind? Yeah, so there's lots of ways that we navigate the institution, right? The institution of the university through our identities and the way that we experience classes, being on campus, et cetera, being in Zoom meetings, whatever avenue that is. And so everything from our status in the United States, to our beliefs, to our first generation status, to gender and race, all play a part in the ways in which we show up, right, as humans in any space. And so that's important for us to name in United in STEM, that we're whole humans that are coming to this experience. Okay. Next, do you feel included in your college? And if you could include your acronym of your college, that would be helpful for us. CAS is Agricultural Sciences, which I don't know that any of you are. Natural Sciences is CNS, CBMBS is Vet Med and Biomedical Sciences. WSCOE is Engineering, thanks, and Warner Resources. Sometimes I use acronyms too much. Okay, so no, sometimes, and yes is kind of across the board here, but that sense of belonging and inclusion in your college is a core piece of being in United in STEM. So last but certainly not least, what type of opportunities has your college provided you? So maybe not resources yet, resources around self-care, stress, Zoom meetings, which I hope that we're all experts on by the time we get to meet back in person again. But we appreciate you sharing these answers in a somewhat anonymous fashion, because it gives us an opportunity to really understand what students' experiences are, and to know, like, this is actually how I'm feeling within my college, and these are the resources that I know I have, or that I can access, or that I have accessed in ways that may or may not be super helpful to you as students, right? So that's one of the reasons that we pulled together United in STEM. And so I'm going to share my screen again. Bridget, do you want to go over the objectives of United in STEM?
Yep. So I'm gonna, as this truck passes, there we go. So thank you for taking time to answer those questions and reflect about your involvement in your college and knowing what college you belong to, as well as how you're feeling and all of that stuff. So we appreciate that time. So United in STEM is a new initiative that we're partnering with the AAC, Academic Advancement Center, that you're already part of. And so, as you know, they got this wonderful grant, and that they will be sharing a lot of great opportunities with you all. And one of the opportunities that they'll be sharing with you, and starting today, is United in STEM. And so I don't know how many of you have heard about United in STEM. So I'm going to ask that you use those little reaction buttons at the bottom. If you've heard about United in STEM, can you, let's see, what does my reaction button say? Let's see, I have a thumbs up. Can you give me a thumbs up like mine? So if you heard about United in STEM, give me a thumbs up. So I see 2. Okay. Sometimes it's kind of the reaction buttons, just in case, is at the bottom of your screen. If you're not on your phone, if you're on your phone, it's, I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. Sebastian said yes. Great. And so if you're a first or second year student, you have been invited to be part of STEM Meetup, which is next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, from 3 until about 4:30. And so we're really excited about that. And we're going to be doing that via Zoom. The RSVP date is on Friday. You should have gotten an email from your professor no, I am lying, from your college. And then if you are associated with any of the cultural centers, you would have gotten an Evite from them as well. So that is what you're looking for on the website. If you are interested in being part of United in STEM, we understand that you're part of Academic Advancement Center. Is nothing more that we're asking to do. So some of the things that your STEM involvement with Academic Advancement Center is going to mirror what we're going to be asking of you through United in STEM. And so our objectives of United in STEM is definitely and simply to create a community among students of color in United in STEM. Can we go back to that slide, Casey, please? Like one more, or go back one more. Okay, thank you. And so, so that is what our main goal, one of our main goals is to kind of understand that as a student who identifies as a student of color or someone that is very close to that group of folks, and that's where your community is, if you don't identify as one, but you identify with the community, we invite you to be part of United in STEM, to see that you are amongst other scholars that look like you and who unfortunately have been marginalized by a system that is not designed with you in mind. And then we also want to have an opportunity for you to gain some support with your faculty members, as well as the staff members in your colleges. It is awesome. You all are very, very fortunate to be part of Academic Advancement Center. I was part of Student Support Services when I was an undergrad and really appreciated that network as a first generation student. And I don't know if I would have graduated without those folks in Student Support Services where I went to school. That's what it was called, it was SSS. And actually my advisor, I'm friends with her now because she was only like a few years older than me, because she very much probably like Tim and Nicolette and Diana, they're only like 4 or 5 years older than me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait a minute, you can be my friend now. And we have kids at the same time. So it's crazy. It's just crazy how that works out. But, and so that definitely happens in SSS or in Academic Advancement Center, but it doesn't happen the same way as it does in your academic colleges. And so what we want to do is not for you to be friends with your faculty members, but for you to gain some type of sense of belonging and I would say New York, but a network of folks that you can go to. So when you decide, if you decide to go to graduate school, and it's that time that you need a letter of recommendation, of course, you know, Nicolette or Tim or Fabiola or any of those, or Diana will write you a letter of support to go to graduate school or serve as a reference for a job. But then it's nothing like having that faculty member to also write that letter of support. Nicolette was part of our grad school prep academy a couple years ago. And that was one of the things that we emphasized, that you need to get to know your faculty members, not just one, but a couple. And so they can attest to your intelligence, not because you got to prove yourself, but because you got to prove yourself. So that's important. The third objective we have is that we want to provide academic and career opportunities. They are going to come plentiful through the Career Center, but we're partnering with the Career Center also, in addition to a couple other places, alumni office as well. And so what we want to do is Nicolette was, I pick on Nicolette just because she was, you know, just graduated not too long ago, and she was part of a lot of things. But one of the things that she was part of planning is something called Stemming from Color when she was in her undergraduate year. And so Stemming of Color is part of this, and it's really to identify professionals as well as alumni in the STEM discipline in Northern Colorado and bring them to CSU and have them interact with undergraduate students. And so we call that Stemming from Color, and we are going to continue that. And we want to be able to provide that networking opportunity for you to gain employment internships after CSU, during CSU. And then there's also some academic opportunities that you can be part of. As a first year student, how do you get involved in undergraduate research? As a first year student, how do you be part of a lab? And so we want to provide some academic opportunities for you all through United in STEM. Had a meeting yesterday with the executive director of tilt, and we're trying to strategically plan of how we can centralize lab opportunities so students don't have to go breaking down doors and figuring out where do I get into a lab or how do I do undergraduate research. It's not this good old boys network kind of a thing. We want to open it up and make sure that anybody can have access to that. So that's what affords you an opportunity united in STEM. And the last thing is that I touched this on a little bit as alumni and professionals of color. Through several means. And so those are our 4 objectives that we're hoping to, no, we're not hoping, we will provide students as they're part of United in STEM. It costs you nothing, just a little time and a little dedication to yourself, an investment to your academic career. Is there any questions regarding United in STEM? Now, we're gonna again invite you to be part of our STEM meetup on Thursday. That STEM meetup, during that time, we'll go into detail about what is happening in United in STEM as far as the opportunities, aside from the objectives. But if you're coming next Thursday, we don't want to repeat ourselves. And so we want you to come next Thursday so you can also meet the deans and assistant deans, associate deans, directors in your colleges. So that's really important to know who they are. So yeah, that is what we do and how we're gonna do it. With you in mind. Our website is at the bottom, and so you can definitely just go check out some of the things that we're going to be offering, and you can definitely sign up for a STEM meetup that's going to happen next Thursday. I'm sorry, Casey, I was still babbling.
You said exactly what I was going to say, so great job.
Okay. That's all we have for you for right now. I don't know, Nicolette, what do you need anything else from us? Or definitely want to make sure that if there's questions, we can entertain those. So. Thanks, Tim.
While we're waiting on questions to come through, if y'all can share the slides with us, I think that would be great so we can make it available to students. And then if any type of events come up that I might not be aware of, if you could pass them my way so I can include in the newsletter for our students, that'd be great too.
And we didn't go into detail regarding United in STEM, so what we can do also is when we have our STEM meetup, we'll just give you that information because it'll be a little bit more details on there too, for those people that can't come to that event.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Okay, well, Bridget and my contact information is on the website. So if you're like me and in 20 minutes you think, oh, I should have asked this question, feel free to email us or connect in any way. We're glad to answer any questions and make sure you have all the information you need to participate in United in STEM. And I know, Nicolette, you said that there were some other pieces that you needed to share at the end of this meeting. So if there's no questions, we're glad to turn it back over for next steps for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Casey and Bridget, for just taking the time to talk to our students and interact with our students. We definitely appreciate it.
Of course. I'm going to hop off, so I will say anything that you need from us, let us know. Bye.
Awesome.
Take care. Thank you for your time. Hi, Alex.
Awesome. We're running a little bit over time, so I'm going to be quick with our reminders for our last little wrap up. So for this session, the only thing you need to do is complete the post assessment, which I'll post really quickly by this Friday. And then our upcoming sessions are session 6, which is an optional live presentation, which is navigating as a STEM undergraduate student, part 2. And that's on Monday at noon. And I'll include some more information about what will be covered during this session in the announcement that I'll send on Friday, like you usually do, along with session 7. Those are our STEM interpretation sessions for the Strength Finder results, We have 2 sessions. One is on Tuesday at 4 p.m. and one is on Thursday at 1 p.m. And if you didn't fill out that survey that I sent for registration, that's perfectly fine. And if you're available to attend, please drop in with whatever time works for you and just bring your results and you'll be able to engage with everybody. And that's all the reminders I have for upcoming sessions. Thank you all for taking the time to attend this optional session. And just have a good rest of your day and contact us if you have any questions.
Thank you.